Okay, okay.
Good evening and welcome. It's Friday, the 10th of December. Can you believe it? And in tonight's show, we do have, as you might have just heard it before, Emily. So,
I couldn't wait. I was too excited to come in.
so it is very true. It's been at least a week. It's actually been over a week, I think.
Yeah, I think it's been nearly 2.
It might have been. So, yes.
When everyone's lovely.
So, she's got on the out and about section, there's a game that she wants to tell us all about that she found while she was out and about in Glasgow. And we've also got Emily talking about food later on in the show. Any food news? I know I've got a question to ask her about that from the show on Wednesday to answer a question for George. So
No, I'm scared now.
It's all right. It's not about Arsenal.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
I haven't actually got COVID update yet. I don't. I'm just going to check to see if it has come through because I didn't have it earlier, but I know. I will keep an eye on that one, see if we do get hold of it. And I can let you know.
Probably not going to be good news.
It probably not. I will actually check while we're actually live because, as I said, it's something we have been keeping an eye on. But yeah, as every time it's probably not good news. But we can check for you. Right, it is in, so that's good. We have got that, which isn't going to be the figures that are on the screen. Your daily figure was on Wednesday. We can go by those. Wednesday's figure was 51,342. Today's is 58,194.
Yeah.
So we're almost hitting that 60,000 mark now. Yes. But then saying that, on Wednesday it was plus 11%, up by 11.3%. I can't work out how they've worked this out, but today, even though we're 7,000 cases up on Wednesday, we're only up by 10.2%. So that's come down.
That's what it was yesterday, though.
It does, yes. Deaths 120. There were 161 on Wednesday, so they've come down. But again, there's no change to the figures. And patients admitted was 729 on Wednesday, 839 today. So just from Wednesday, that's up by 110%, or 110 people. On Wednesday, it was minus 0.8%. Today, we're actually back up into the plus. It's plus 3.7%. So that's not good, guys. That is definitely not good. And apparently 1.3 million tests done today, or done yesterday. So
at least people are testing.
Yes.
Really.
Well, it is, to be fair. It is what. But other than that, I agree with what Emmy said at the start. It's not going to be good news. It's not. There's not much more we can say about that one. Moving on to news headlines. Nicola Sturgeon says Scotland may see a potential tsunami of Omicron cases. I know she did a national broadcast today to Scotland. Was there any other news in that? Do you know, Emily?
I didn't watch it. I was busy at the time, so I haven't actually heard.
Right.
I'll get the news at 6 o'clock. If there's anything to update, I'll pop in the Lions group.
Yep, that's fine. Mandatory face coverings in most indoor venues in England come into force on Friday as part of Plan B COVID measures to control the spread of the Omicron variant, while vaccine passports and a work from home mandate will come into effect from Monday. This is from the live broadcast Boris did on Wednesday. Unfortunately, I know there's been a lot of controversy this week within the government where it comes to Boris Johnson and other MPs, which brings me on to the third headline. Prime Minister Boris Johnson is facing mounting pressure after a new report that Downing Street Director of Communications made a speech and handed out awards at an alleged event on December the 18th, 2020, which is along with 3 Downing Street gatherings now under internal investigation. So that 3 now becomes 4. It's a joke. It seriously is a joke. Not much more I can say on that. What have you got on that, Emmy?
I'm going to go back to the second headline for a minute.
Yep.
Why is it only most indoor venues? Why is it not all of them?
I don't know, because originally when he first said about it a week ago, he just said supermarkets.
Yeah.
But now he's brought in cinemas and theatres. So it doesn't even come across like pubs, clubs. You're going to need a passport to get into a club, but you don't need a face mask.
It's confusing.
It is. Yep.
Because even the likes of going into a bar or restaurant, I understand when you're eating and drinking, you're not going to be wearing a mask.
No.
Moving around like they had sort of when things first started opening up last year. Why is that not being sort of reintroduced? It's not a massive imposition on people. So you're not asking them to kind of, I don't know, drink to a straw underneath their mask.
No.
Although,
but then saying that, I know I know you'll know the pub I'm on about because we had a drink there when you came down in September. The Maiden's Head, they're out on their board today. It put up there. What is it he put up on his board today? It's not legal to wear a face mask. But I would appreciate it if you did in here. It's the same as it's not illegal to get drunk, but you all do it. Yeah, so no, it's not illegal to wear a face mask, but I'd appreciate it if you wore one in here. It's the same as it's not illegal to get drunk, but you all do it. So
it comes back to the whole anti-vax thing as well again, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Why would people not take, any measures they could to kind of not only prevent the spread of it, but also to prevent yourself from catching it?
I get there's some medical conditions that won't allow it, but as I said in the show,
that doesn't come into the equation.
No, as I said on the show on Wednesday with George and Leighton. Now, the ones if you can't have the vaccine, it goes down as you've had it but haven't, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
So those figures are not even coming into it. But I don't get why. I don't like injections. I don't like needles. It's as simple as that. But I've got to have mine done. Because
what's the alternative?
That doesn't work either. But yeah, no, but it's like you said though, I'm not being funny. I've got a teenage son,
Mhm.
and I've got him for Christmas. Now, I wouldn't put him at risk. So
Exactly.
and that's why I didn't see him for all those months when we were in lockdown. And I know I couldn't move around the counties anyway, but it was just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't get why people won't have the vaccine.
I'll come back to that when I come on to the third thing. But the COVID passports, I mean, I've got one. I've had to use it last week. Well, to be fair, when they saw me trying to get it up on my phone, it waved me in, which is fair enough. We all have them, the rest of my family, as we've had them.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a hassle to like the process you've got to go through because you need photo ID first, so it verifies it's you, and then you go to an external web page where it live sort of scans your face,
Right.
so to show that you're not actually just taking a photo of
Yeah.
Anybody's ID, and then you get it that way and it accesses your vaccine history.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I understand why they've introduced them. It's a little bit of a hassle, but at the same time, in order to actually, have these events going on, or for people to be able to attend them,
My only issue with it is it going to be policed properly? Is it going to actually be done properly? Because not being funny, I know there's probably one nightclub down this way that I think they would allow them in anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be the big issue, because if they allow them in, then is the person going to get fined for not having a passport? But there again, surely the venue should get fined for not allowing them in without a passport. It's
I would say, that is the rule. Again, kind of the rules about things. One rule for one, something different for other people entirely, isn't it?
Yes, as we found out with the business meeting.
I want to know what awards they were handing out because I'm not being funny. Do the government really deserve any awards?
It's whether he was actually handing them out to the government or he was at an awards event.
It surely makes it worse if it's not sort of people from the government.
From the way it's read out, it's made in a speech and handed out awards at an alleged event.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't actually say it was. Doesn't say either way whether it was government awards or members of the public. So it is quite.
Anyway, it shouldn't be happening.
No. But there again, lockdown didn't actually come into place until January.
Which lockdown?
The last lockdown didn't actually come into place until January because London wasn't in lockdown. Kent was. Kent was in localised lockdown.
Was it not the 27th of December?
It could have been the 27th of December. But this.
I know these events that they're investigating, had happened before that came into place. But is it not that they've broken like the kind of the rules that were in place at the time? Which was,
I think the social distancing, yeah.
Numbers and certain amount of households being able to mix. Which I think last December was it only 2 households?
I thought I'm trying to think what it was now because I know it went up, didn't it, after September? and then come back in because of localised lockdowns.
Mhm.
I think it was you could meet up.
You can meet outdoors.
Yeah, you can meet outdoors with up to 12 people, but I think it was only indoors was two. I think it was two
It's either
separate.
2 or 3 households.
I think it was
I can't remember which.
two other households, so yours plus 2 others.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's.
But it's not so much that the events happened, it's the nature of them and how many people, were probably there and are bending the rules, as it were.
But then again, it comes back to the lockdown situation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all our little local pubs closed.
Yeah.
The one in Westminster stayed open.
Of course it did.
So.
Westminster's immune.
Yeah. So the MPs still had a pub to go to and socialise, but we weren't allowed to.
Nope.
I know there's been at the moment. I'm trying to find out whether it is MPs or the actual UK itself. But the last figure I saw, there was 33% asking for Boris's resignation.
Mm-hmm.
Will he do it? I don't think so. Well, I know we've had this conversation.
Yeah, I, due to his personality, I would say he's not the type of person that would ever resign willingly.
No.
I think if it comes to the point where perhaps maybe he'd be politely requested by the Queen to step down, I don't think he'd have a choice, but
yeah,
off his own back.
Which
impeachment.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be, what was the word? I'm trying to think. Oh, there's a law that they sometimes try and pull in, isn't there?
No confidence.
That's it. Yeah, no confidence.
Yeah.
I think that might end up having to come in because he's putting these rules in place, but then breaking them in another aspect. It's.
But then so half of his party.
Yeah, it's like not being funny. When they do the lives, they say wear masks, but they're not wearing masks on the lives.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult one, and it shouldn't be happening.
No.
So, all right, moving on. It's the quiz question, and the one I chose today was the 3 o'clock one from the website, from the Facebook page. Sorry, it's guess the Christmas song. So the lyrics I gave you today was take a look at the 5 and 10. It's a glistening once again with candy canes and silver lanes. They glow. So that is on the Facebook page. If you know the answer, go and answer it.
I'm so tempted to sing it.
Go on then, sing it.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
There you go. If you didn't know the answer, you have got it now. Go and answer the question.
You've got to sing it.
Right, out and about. So the photos I've got today are from Cardiff. You've got the town centre all lit up with like holly leaves. And you've got green leaves, purple leaves, red leaves, all the way down through the high street, which looks really nice. And Cardiff has also got the good for social distancing, but the ice rink's back, and the log cabin market behind it, and it does look really nice. And I'm guessing the church behind that's lit up in green light at the moment. So that's what's happening in Cardiff. So it does sound nice. But talking about out and about now, I know I had a message from Emmy over the weekend, to be fair, telling me about a game that the group might find very useful or a good game to play. It's called the Sock Game. I'm going to hand over to you on this one, Emmy.
Yeah, well, I mean, just doing a bit of Christmas shopping and kind of got sort of talking to this guy who's sort of demonstrating different board games, and I enjoy my games, which is something I just do kind of miss without, being able to play them myself without having someone say, oh, you've rolled such and such, and you've got to move so many spaces, and you get the picture. So this game, basically, you get two really long socks, so you can do it either in pairs, or playing against each other, or in teams. And each sock they've got the same thing in them, but it's 30 different items. So there's a dice, that's one of them. There's a toy car, there's a cork, I'm trying to think what else. There's a poker chip, tiddlywink, but loads of different items.
If the game's in Scotland, there'd be a bottle of vodka, a bottle of gin.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to share what my 4-year-old said. So basically, you have a spinner. This is the only thing that you do require somebody with sight for us to work with spinner. You just spin it and it will point to the item that you need to find, and then the first person or team to get that item at sock gets the point. But I suppose there'd be ways around it if you.
I suppose depending how big the spinner is, you'd be able to get the braille labels and braille it up.
Quite possibly, yeah.
There's just another idea for that one.
I'd say it's maybe 15 centimetres square.
So yeah, possibly, because you can get those little labels, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a possibility. I might have to see if I can get word back to the person on that one, put that forward as a suggestion. But no, it's a brilliant game, and I've played it a couple of times since I got it with different family members, and this is actually really fun, and it's so simple.
Yeah, and it does sound it. It sounds like it could be quite. And I suppose you get different objects for it as well, can't you?
I suppose you could, yeah. You just start sticking your own things in.
Yeah. So yeah, that's. But I know that was one that Emmy found, and she did ask me if I could put it in the show on Saturday night, and I turned around and said, "No, you can bring it to the show yourself." So, because I'm nice like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on to what's on twos. I know there's no pub social this evening, but tomorrow night we do have the quiz on Discord at 8:30. Now I will be pushing this come January because I want to get it and actually I want to get as many teams as we can, and then I can start doing a quiz league team. For our Saturday night quizzes. So that's what I'm looking at aiming for in January. So we're going to push it as much as we can to try and get as many people along for the Saturday night quiz. And it is one of the best quizzes we do, to be fair. I know Emmy's has said that in the past.
It's definitely my favourite one.
So
It isn't so much the quiz, it's just the banter.
Oh yes, definitely.
That's what makes it.
Yeah. The banter that we get in it is quite mad sometimes, to be fair.
A few times we all ended up bent double laughing.
Yes. So it's definitely worth coming along to that one.
Even if you're not particularly into quizzes, just come along for the laugh.
Yeah. normally you get put into a team, so hopefully one of the team knows the answers. You don't have to answer the questions yourself. It is done as a team, so it's definitely worth a go, that one. So yes, and I know topic of the day is next, and I'm just having a look to see if anyone did comment in the end on. No, we didn't have no comments on that one, but it was if you were Prime Minister, what would be the one thing you'd change?
I'd never be Prime Minister.
Is that the thing you'd change? Is it? I'd never be Prime Minister. Fair enough.
In an ideal world, I don't make the eating of bats illegal.
Yeah. Definitely. It's. I don't know.
Weekend once a month.
Free gym once a month, yeah. Only once a month. You're slacking.
No. I mean, once a day is too frequent.
So, right, TV picks for tomorrow. So we have got Strictly Come Dancing on BBC One at 7:05.
The semi-final, isn't it?
Yes, it is the semi-final tomorrow. I have watched a couple of this series, to be fair, when I've been down in Southampton, and they're quite good this year, to be fair. There's been a couple of episodes or a couple of nights I've liked where you've got, is it Ruth who's deaf? Rose. And they stop the music. And it still flows like anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that
was a really powerful dance when they did do that, and it just went silent to emulate her world.
Yeah.
So that was a really powerful moment.
And it did actually. Everybody took to social media after that, saying what a fantastic idea it was, and it's actually opened up a lot of stuff to do with the deaf, which I also agree with that as well, because I know when my mum was alive, she worked for a charity for the deaf, so it is something that I have followed quite a bit. So yeah, Greg Wallace's Grand Christmas Adventure. It starts tomorrow night. It didn't start last Saturday night, like I said last week. I read the wrong magazine. So that's at 8:25 on Channel 5, and then Casualty on BBC One at 9:25, and then you've got a couple of films tomorrow night. One on Film 4. We Summon the Darkness. That's at 11:05. I'm guessing that's going to be a horror. And then there's one ITV2 at 6:55 tomorrow night called Rampage. So that's.
It doesn't sound like it, but I'm presuming that's a sort of family film.
Yeah. On Monday, Emmy will be back with us as well, because we're going to be doing a Christmas special. I'm going to have the listings for all the TV that's on over the Christmas period, and let you know what films are going to be on, what sports are going to be on over Christmas. And we're literally going to be doing a full. It's going to be a full show, literally just on TV. So you won't have any of your food finds, or I will do the COVID update still, but that'll be the only part of the news. The rest of it is going to be to do with TV on Monday. So yeah, so I know that was asked for a little while ago if we could do something like that. Next part of the show I know is one of your favourites. It's food finds. So what have we found today? Macaron trio. French macarons made with caramel, chocolate, raspberry, and almond.
Nice, oh, quite nice.
They do sound quite nice, yeah. I'd want more than 3 though.
Like more packet.
Dark chocolate cappuccino flutes.
Okay.
Yep, I know.
Do
It's.
they melt in?
I don't know what they do
Or
personally.
are they chocolate?
They're chocolates, I think.
Or are they chocolate fruit?
They're chocolate cappuccino flutes.
I only want to try one of them.
So yeah, that's interesting one. I will see if I can find out more about those. And Morrison's have got the loaded toffee popcorn cupcakes now.
I heard popcorn.
Yep.
And cupcake in the same sentence.
Yep.
Now, those of you that were in Blackpool in September with us will remember I started a craze of eating popcorn filled rolls.
Yes, you
They
did.
copied my idea.
But these cupcakes have also got fresh cream on the top as well, so it's all good. I think we've lost Emily for a second. And then the last one for this evening is Reese's peanut butter cheesecake.
No.
But you got your Reese's peanut butter.
I love my Reese's peanut butter cup. I want a cheesecake.
So again, you can find that one in Iceland. Castle
There's
News.
a lot of weird cheesecakes, aren't they?
They have this year. Yes, you've got the Refreshers cheesecake. You've got the Blackjack cheesecakes. You've now got the Reese's peanut. Sorry, yeah, fruit salad cheesecakes, not Refreshers. And the Blackjacks. And then you've got the Reese's peanut butter. So it's quite interesting, to be fair, of what is coming out. And yeah, Castle News. Well, I didn't actually watch I'm a Celebrity last night. I think Victoria went, if I remember rightly.
I don't know, there wasn't a Victoria in it.
Oh, right, there weren't a Victoria in it. She didn't go. It was Louise. Yeah, I knew it was one of them. I know tomorrow night you have got the Castle Cyclone. It's a semi-final.
I think they should make them climb up the castle walls whilst spraying them with water.
That could be quite interesting, yeah, to be fair. And then on Sunday, we have the final. And then Em's will be glad because everything will be back to normal. So,
I know, it's like dramas on ITV again.
Yes. You can get your crime dramas back. I said you can get your crime dramas back.
I know, I went,
Ah, right. And Emily's Kitchen. Well, I've got 2 recipes for you tonight, as we didn't have a show last night. And the first one is the cranberry and pistachio brownies. I still want to know when you're making all these for me. The list is getting longer.
Yeah, I'm tied up at
the moment. And also you have cinnamon butter rum. That sounds quite nice as well. It's.
I don't normally like rum, but I'd be tempted to give that a go. And to me, it sounds like it's what butterbeer would taste like from Harry Potter.
Yes. So.
Always wanted to try butterbeer.
But yeah, no, that does sound very nice, to be fair. I suppose Depends what rum you use, I suppose.
True.
Yeah.
It would have to be a dark rum.
I know this is not normally in a Friday night show, but it is just a reminder. Don't forget the people that do fantasy football. Your deadline is tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. So if you want to get your team changed or anything, in case you forget, like I do sometimes.
Deadline's tomorrow morning.
Moving on to the food news with Emmy. So, on Wednesday's show, we did have your recipe for the mince pie baklava, or baklava, or however it's pronounced. Where does it originate from, and what is it? Because I know it's George was wondering on Wednesday what it actually was.
I'm not sure where it definitely comes from. I've always thought it was Greek. It could be Turkish. It's somewhere in that sort of area of Europe.
Yeah.
So basically, traditional baklava, it's like layers of phyllo pastry and there's like chopped nuts. I think you can put fruit in it as well.
Is the phyllo pastry the puff pastry, or?
It's not the puff one. It's the kind of flaky, crispy one.
Like apple turnovers made from.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't know. I don't really eat apple turnovers.
Oh, right.
But yeah, it's kind of you layer it up and then it kind of makes like almost like a crispy kind of wafery type texture to it, and you sort of pour over honey as well. It makes it sort of really sticky.
Yeah, I know what you're on about now. So.
But then this one just has it's got minced meat in it instead of traditional filling, just to make it a bit more tasty.
It sounds very interesting. Any other food news?
I have some drink news.
Go on then. Yeah.
I know we've done some special buys over the past week on alcohol.
Yes, we have.
And a lot of the supermarkets have been selling a litre of Baileys for £10.
Yep.
And Tesco's have undercut them all. And they've gone in for £9.50.
Yes, I have heard this one. So.
If you want your Baileys, go to Tesco.
Go to Tesco's, yes.
Not up here because you can't get it at that price.
So.
Not fair.
I'm
saying.
But no, that went on sale today, I think, if I remember rightly. The one, I suppose, that one food news that I've actually found today, which I'm not sure how the UK are going to take it, but apparently Mr. Tumble has actually got an evening show in 2022 for cooking.
Mr. Tumble?
Yes.
Is he not a kid's TV?
He is. He's the one who does sign language and all that lot. He's actually coming to our screens, and he's apparently got an evening show for cooking.
Good
then.
Recipe.
So that's going to be interesting, to be fair. I think. But that's all I've got on that side of it. I'm just trying to find out if there is any other.
Do we know if that it came up a while ago about Popeyes, the chicken chain? That they were opening their first store in the UK.
Yes, we haven't actually found out when that actually is yet. Or where. I'm guessing it's going to be London, but I could be completely wrong on that one.
Might be Glasgow.
It could be Glasgow as well.
Well, sure, it was the first Burger King in the UK was in Glasgow.
I have heard that myself, to be fair. So, retailers have been warned over soaring supplier cost hikes as well in the new year. So that's another one that I thought we'd bring up here. It's due to basically the lorry drivers getting the stuff out. And unless it changes also, which is quite an interesting one actually, Booker's staff are threatening to strike, which is going to affect 1,500 convenience stores at Christmas.
Oh dear. Do we know why?
I will try and find out. You mean I could have gone on strike? Damn. They're on about
strike just in the afternoon.
Yeah, they're on about striking on Christmas Eve, literally the day before Christmas. What jokes! It's not actually the actual depots that are. It's the Thamesmead site, which is where everything for the Booker stores comes from, their main warehouse. It's the drivers.
So they're not going to supply the individual stores, and then individual stores won't be allowed to or able to supply the convenience stores.
Yeah, basically, they're not going to supply Bookers themselves. Yeah, and it's
they're going to have a panic buying outbreak.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Or maybe it's just another ploy to incite panic buying.
It's going to be very interesting to see what actually comes off that.
Has anyone had any issues with like supply for Christmas? Because I know they were saying a couple of months ago about not being able to get things and like turning the containers away from the ports and things like that.
As far as I'm aware, no. But, it's actually been quite good up to now, to be fair. But then saying that one, as we were talking about disruption, Sainsbury's may face Christmas supply disruption over DHL lorry drivers' pay dispute. So it looks like it's all lorry drivers at the moment, which is not going to be. Tesco's workers are looking at Tesco's facing Christmas shortages over strike action as well. So it does look like it could be across the board, which.
But I feel like such a conspiracy theorist. It's all a ploy to get you in.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Next weekend, I'm buying stuff that you'll need.
No, I do actually agree with you on this one. It could be just a ploy.
But then are they going to, at the same time, are they going to put caps on what people buy? Because you probably see it yourself at Christmas time. You see people with like 2 trolleys full.
Yes. Yeah.
15 pints of milk. And the shops are only shut for one day. 2 days sometimes. And all months are open. If you need milk, you can
go to your corner shop and get milk. It's fine.
Or get a cow.
Yes.
Sometimes I think it'd be cheaper to get a cow.
Definitely. As does, if you know any NHS or emergency workers, Asda are offering 10% Christmas discount to NHS and emergency services workers. So that's another one. And Marks and Spencers have seen £100,000 app downloads after 100,000k app downloads after launching Santa's Sparks Advent Calendar.
Okay.
So it's and Walker's crisp shortage is set to extend deep into January. I didn't even realise there was a Walker's crisp shortage. So the crisp giant has been struck by supply issues since October, understood to be a result of the SAP upgrade at owner PepsiCo. Now that's interesting because I didn't actually realise Walkers were owned by Pepsi. That's a new one to me as well. So there you go, guys. Did any of you actually know Walkers were actually owned by Pepsi? Because I certainly didn't.
I have a feeling I know that somewhere deep in the recess of my mind, but not from the top of my head. I would just say that Walkers were a company in their own right.
I thought they were, yeah. So, but that's all I've got for you today. Have you got anything else, Emmy?
No.
No. Don't forget, you can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitch, Discord, and of course the website www.theworldofsocialite.co.uk. Thank you for watching, and I will be back tomorrow night.